It's high summer in the south of France, and that means it's time for the creme de la creme of global advertising to get together for the annual Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity. Sit back as we show you something old, something new, something inventive, and some queues, long queues. Once you've touched down at Nice Airport, it's a 30-minute or so taxi ride to the heart of the biggest advertising festival of its kind. Now in its 60th year, the festival has experienced massive growth. This year, 12,000 delegates from 95 countries descending on the coastal town to observe, discuss and analyse a record-breaking 35,700 entries. 600 journalists also make Cannes their home for 1 week as they report back to a range of broadcasters and publications on the winners, the losers and the ultimate curators of cool at this year's event. The Palais de Festival is where it all happens. Here, delegates have access to displayed works, exhibiting companies, seminars and lectures which take place over a course of 7 days. Judging also happens here. Behind closed doors, specialist juries in 16 different categories take part in a grueling process to try and find the creative work that will set the benchmark in years to come. The workshops and seminars are hosted by trendsetters and thought leaders from every imaginable creative discipline. Celebrity speakers have also become a tradition, and this year saw music mogul P. Diddy, legendary photographer Annie Leibovitz, and the grande dame of fashion Vivienne Westwood take the stage to share their experience in building a global brand. The Young Lions Zone is an exclusive space for up-and-coming creatives. Here they get the opportunity to attend masterclasses and pick the brains of industry heavyweights. To celebrate the festival's Diamond Jubilee, maverick cartoonist Gerald Scarfe, who is infamous for his satirical work in the New Yorker, Vogue and Tatler magazines, designed the logo for this year's event. The lion theme, if you were wondering, was inspired by the statue of the lion of the Piazza San Marco in Venice, where the very first festival was held. Cannes only became the permanent home of the festival in 1984. Chairman of the Lions and a man with a lot of frequent flyer miles is Australian Terry Savage. He has the mammoth task of keeping the wheels turning and finding fresh and exciting ways of keeping the festival at the forefront of creative excellence.
The reality is I don't look at very much of the work at all. The first time I tend to see the results is when I'm in a press conference. Afterwards I'll have a look at the results. But as I always say the same things to journalists, I'm very good at organising events. I've got 330 jury members that are very good at choosing the work, so I generally leave that to them. We've taken the view from the very start that we don't want to be too self-indulgent about our own birthday. Well, we can be, but the delegates come here to see the work, to network, to learn. So we've got some initiatives that we think will be interesting to them, like Game Changers, which is a retrospective of 60 years in advertising. We've also got a historical display of various paraphernalia from the festival's over 60 years. But really, this business moves so fast that we just want to keep the freshness and the new work and the new ideas and innovations at centre of the festival, as opposed to sort of looking too far back. It is really a 52-week exercise. We have 70 full-time staff, but then obviously come festival time, it's supplemented by up to 150 various people that are either out of London or based in Cannes. And one thing people forget is Cannes is a festival town. So they have festivals here 264 days of the year. So you have some very skilled operators who you can call on, who know the town, know the Palais, know the business very well.
Creativity will save us.
The content program is so rich that there's so much choice. And of course, they're all thought leaders of the industry, and that's why people come here, because they really want to understand what's happening. we morph very easily with the times, and I think the one thing that everyone says about Cannes is it's full of innovation, full of change every year, which keeps it fresh, not just in the context of the long period, but in fact every year it gets a refreshing look to it.
The Lions provide companies and even countries a platform to create awareness around marketing opportunities. Countries can make the case for investing in their creative economy and lure the best and brightest young stars to their shores. The Chinese delegation hosted China Day and had a colourful interactive exhibition. Our other BRICS counterpart, Brazil, also had a team on standby should anyone want to know more about the country's creative industry or entered works. A major disappointment then not to see a South African flag anywhere. Sweden, however, made the most of the opportunity by hosting a series of workshops dubbed Made at Sweden. Some of the country's leading creative thinkers and directors teamed up with Swedish government officials to inform delegates of opportunities within the Swedish advertising space.
The interest for Swedish creative industries has never been bigger than it is now. I mean, the increase in attention, both media-wise and visitors coming in, talent moving to Stockholm and other cities in Sweden has never been bigger. But we do face a challenge. Salaries are lower than in bigger cities. So part of why we're here is to reinforce the value that we try to bring to people that already knows about Sweden, but also to kind of grow attention for Sweden as a creative nation. The Swedish government really enforces the creative industries. Marketing and advertising specifically are industries that they have decided to really invest in. Made at Sweden is actually a brand new academy that we developed together with the Cannes Lions Administration. The actual idea was formed last year when Sweden took an all-time high here with 48 wins and the Grand Prix. We were sent home with a question from the Cannes Lions Administration to see what we could do in terms of developing a format which was more based on exchange of ideas and a learning process rather than just being here with a lot of people. But during these 3 days, we're going to see a mixture of workshops, inspirational lectures, but also reversed panels where the delegates have had the time to prepare different tasks that they will discuss together with different panel setups with people from the creative industries in Sweden. We also have a very large number of interactive moments in every part of the academy. So there's always follow-up with a group reflection, takeouts from that part, and also something to build upon, because we think it's important for them to actually have a plan on why they're here, what their goals are to bring home, and also help them give body to a personal action plan when they leave. So it's all about getting real stuff out of it.
Uploading, awaiting reply.
Coming up on Mags on Media, new Cannes Festival attractions, and we have the lowdown on what really happens behind those closed doors during the judging process.
News that moves. ENCA.com.